I never thought the people I trusted the most would become the reason I had to fight for my own existence. Not just emotionally but legally, in a courtroom where my entire life was questioned like I was a stranger instead of a daughter and a sister. My name is Ava Collins, and for most of my life, I believe that if you love your family enough, they will eventually love you back the same way. I was wrong in the most painful way possible. I grew up being the responsible one, the one who never argued, never complained, and always made sure things stayed under control when everything around us felt unstable. My parents used to say I was mature beyond my age, like it was a compliment, but looking back now, I realize it was just another way of saying I was the easiest one to depend on. I became the person who solved problems that were never mine to begin with. When my younger sister Sophia got accepted into a prestigious medical program, our family treated it like a celebration of destiny. Everyone was proud, excited, and emotional. I was proud too. But I also noticed something else quietly forming in the background. No one said it directly, but somehow the responsibility of supporting her future slowly shifted onto me without discussion. Tuition, rent, books, everything started flowing through my hands. At first, I did not question it. I told myself this is what siblings do. I took extra work, sacrificed sleep, delayed my own goals, and slowly built my entire life around keeping her dream alive. I stopped buying things for myself. I stopped traveling. I stopped thinking about what I wanted because there was always something she needed more urgently. Every time I sent money, I felt like I was building something meaningful for both of us. But gratitude has a strange way of fading when entitlement begins to grow. The first real crack in our relationship did not come with a fight. It came with silence, small changes in tone, conversations that felt colder, moments where I was no longer thanked but expected. It was like my support had become a given instead of a gift. Still, I convinced myself it was stress, pressure, and nothing more. Everything changed the day my grandfather passed away. He was the only person in my family who ever made me feel like I was seen for who I was, not just for what I could provide. His house was quiet, peaceful, and honest in a way the rest of my life was not. After his death, everything turned into paperwork, discussions, and decisions that felt too fast for grief. Then came the will. In a cold office room filled with tension, the lawyer read out the distribution of his remaining assets. A house, a small cabin, savings, and personal belongings. Nothing extravagant, but meaningful enough to divide a family. The cabin was shared between me and Sophia. The house was left primarily to me, and the rest was divided with careful balance. I did not react much at first, but I felt the shift in the room immediately. My mother's expression tightened, my father stayed quiet, and Sophia did not look at me even once. Then the lawyer handed me something unexpected, a sealed letter from my grandfather. My hands shook slightly as I opened it. Inside, there was only one sentence written in his handwriting. It said, "I leave this to the one who carried burdens that were never theirs to hold." I could not breathe properly after reading it. It felt like someone had finally acknowledged years of invisible weight I thought no one had noticed. But that moment of emotional clarity did not last long. A few days later, Sophia called me. Her voice was calm to calm. She told me I should transfer my share of the house to her. She said it would keep things simple and avoid conflict. When I asked what she planned to offer in return, she avoided the question completely and told me that family should not need transactions. Something in her tone felt different that day, not sisterly, not warm. Strategic. When I refused, everything changed. The warmth disappeared completely. Conversations stopped, then came legal notices. At first, I thought it was a misunderstanding, but it quickly escalated into something I never expected. Sophia was now claiming that I had manipulated my grandfather, influenced financial decisions, and used money control over the years to create unfair advantage. The same money I had earned, sacrificed, and sent without hesitation was now being used as evidence against me. I remember sitting alone in my apartment, reading the documents over and over again, trying to understand how generosity had been turned into accusation. That was the moment something inside me shifted. I stopped thinking like a sister, and I started thinking like someone who studies truth for a living. I gathered everything: bank records, transfers, emails, messages, every single transaction that proved exactly where the money went and why. Years of silent sacrifice turned into documented evidence. But I also found something unexpected in my grandfather's study. Another envelope, this one addressed directly to Sophia, never opened. I did not know what was inside, but I knew it mattered. The courtroom day arrived faster than I was ready for. The atmosphere inside was heavy, controlled, and silent in a way that made every breath feel louder than it should. Sophia sat across from me with her lawyer, calm and composed, like she had already decided the outcome. Her lawyer spoke first. He painted a story where I was controlling, manipulative, and emotionally strategic. Every document was presented in a way that twisted intention into accusation. Then it was my turn. My lawyer asked me a simple question: why did I support her all those years? I looked at the judge and said because I believed she was building something worth investing in. Then I presented my evidence, clear, structured, undeniable financial records showing every dollar, every transfer, every sacrifice. Then I placed the sealed envelope from my grandfather on the table. The judge allowed it to be opened. The room changed the moment it was read. Sophia's expression dropped instantly. The confidence she carried broke for the first time. Inside that letter was truth I never knew. My grandfather had been aware of everything, not just the money but the pattern, the intentions, and the hidden dynamics within the family. Then came the final blow. Messages were revealed between Sophia and my mother discussing how to pressure me, how to shift blame, and how to legally frame the situation if I refused to comply. The silence in that courtroom after that was heavier than any argument. The judge did not need to say much after that. The case collapsed. Outside the courtroom, everything felt strangely quiet. No celebration, no victory speech, just a strange emptiness where pain used to live. I kept the house, I kept the cabin, but more importantly, I kept something I had almost lost forever: my voice. That night, I sat alone and realized something I should have understood a long time ago. Love without respect is not love. It is obligation.